So, hey, Neil the Apple Ninja, we're back again. We're gonna make another video.
We certainly are, mate. Today, yesterday I was asked to take apart the iPad 2 for the guys in QC to check some digitizers and some LCDs that came in. They needed to check 100, so it needed to be correct and whatnot. So,
Sorry, did you just say we received an order for 100 touchscreens?
We certainly did, and obviously we don't send anything out without us knowing that they work. So it's a quick test. Once it's open, it's very quick to test them. So we just turn it on, make sure that the LCD works and the digitizer's running, basically. Unfortunately, when I took it apart, I actually broke it, which is why it's a good thing, really, because I can show the customers now how to do it without breaking it. As you can see, I damaged it quite heavily. Two reasons. Okay, major reason, I had the heat gun up too high. It's very different to the iPad 1 in the sense that there's no clips.
Sorry, you said you were too high?
Yeah, the temperature, I had the temperature too high.
Oh, okay, sorry.
My heat gun. Okay?
Yes.
You have to heat up the glue underneath its front surface. Okay. Now, don't worry. Once it's heated up, you want it about 120 degrees. Okay, you can buy a heat gun from us that will easily suffice. Heat gun's very safe. At the moment it shows nothing. I've set it at 120 degrees. As soon as I remove it, the temperature starts running. As soon as you put it back down, cold's back down.
Wow, that's a bad boy.
Yeah, it's a good one, mate. It is a good one. So basically, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to start. What I found was when I first started, I needed a scalpel. Okay.
Yes.
And I've marked it up. It's very difficult for you guys to see. But I've marked it up for my own benefit, and it's about, to begin with, the first insertion that you do around, and you want to go all the way round, you only want to go about 4mm, 5mm maximum, okay? And that is just to release the edges, okay? Once you've done that, I've made a second mark on my scalpel, okay, on the other side, and that's about 7 to 8mm, okay? Now, believe me, if you go any deeper, you're going to damage your LCD, or you're going to cut ribbons that you don't really want to be doing. Okay, so
you don't want that.
Be precise when you start doing this. Take your time. Don't be afraid to do it. Just take your time and do it. Okay. The other thing is, this iPad 2 is going to be quite easy to open, purely because where it was left open for so long, the glue's gone dry and it's not very good. Okay, so what I've done is I used double-sided tape to hold down the digitizer back down to it, basically, so I can show you guys how to do it properly. When you do your own iPad 2, because you're only going to have it open for about 20 minutes, the glue will be fine. You won't need to do this, but if you are concerned, you can easily do exactly the same as me, give it the double inch if you want.
And that's so inexpensive anyways, right? I mean.
No. Okay, so basically, first things first, like I said, don't go above about 120 degrees on your heat gun, and all you want to do, okay, is start with your about 3 to 4mm insertion, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to start heating up this edge here. So if you have the function button in front of you, then you want to start on this corner, and I'll show you why before I start, is because if you look where your ribbon cable is on your new digitizer, okay, that's going to sit on that face, and all the way down that face the ribbon cable runs along. That's why you don't go any more than about 7mm deep, or you'll cut straight through it anyway.
7mm deep?
Yeah, I wouldn't go any deeper than that, to be honest.
Right.
Like I say, the scalpel is the only thing that's going to get in there. You will not get in there with any sort of spatula without damaging it. I've watched one other video, and the only thing I can say is there's no way he took that iPad 2 apart without a heat gun, and when he did, he's damaged the LCD and pretty much everything else around it. And you'll see once I open it up, you'll see exactly what damage you can do if you don't use a heat gun. Okay, so let's make a start, because I don't want to be too long on this one. Okay, I'm just going to make a start, and all I'm going to do is heat up this edge. Okay.
You're not touching the...
No, I'm just using it, because what will happen is if you go too much, you'll make the glue tacky, and that'll just immediately stick back down.
Tacky is tacky.
So by the time you've opened up one corner and you've gone to another, it's stuck back down. So you don't want to heat it up too much. You just want to lift it off a bit. So all I'm doing is I'm just rubbing probably about 10mm away from the actual iPad itself.
10mm.
And that way you won't damage anything inside either. all you're going to do is heat up the glue enough to get your scalpel in to start making the incision, okay?
For those not familiar, 10 mil in UK means 10 millimeters.
Yeah, sorry. Okay. Also the function button, you don't want to go too close to that either.
Right.
Okay, so we're just going to, all I'm going to do is go in between the lip and the seal. Okay?
Yep, lip and seal.
Yeah.
There he goes.
There's a rubber seal and I just want to go above that. Okay, you can see as it's lifting up quite nicely. Okay? Like I said, don't go any more than about 4 mil to start with. Okay? And it will be tight. It will be very tight. And you will have to keep going along, heating it up. Like so. Okay? Just want to lift it up slowly. Once you get going, although it's stiff, it will come off.
Right.
Okay?
So before it was tight, now it's stiff.
Yeah, it will stiff or tight, however you want to cut it. You have got to cut through the glue. You've got to strip in between it. Okay?
Right.
I'm just making my way along the edge, and you'll know when it's not hot enough because the scalpel will slow down in its movement of travel, and that's when you need to apply a bit more heat.
Right.
Okay?
So
And just make your way all the way around the edge. Okay? Yeah, see it slows down and speeds up.
right.
That's where the glue and the heat gun isn't enough. Okay? And I'm just going to go all the way around. The camera on the top, you don't have to worry about, it's a flat surface. You won't really go into it, even when you go to the full depth that you need to. You haven't really got to worry too much. Okay? And you've just got to go all the way around. See, ours is pretty loose where I've lost the glue, where QC left it open for a day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I'll carry on because I want you to see how to do it properly. You'll know if you haven't got it hot enough or you've got it too hot, because the area that you've undone will just stick back together and you'll start again. You'll be chasing your tail around as it was.
Yes, like a dog.
Yeah, pretty much. You'll just go round and round and round. So keep the heat gun at about 120 degrees and you should be okay. Right, you're coming down to this face here. You want to work out, sometimes it's better just to mark out where the ribbon is itself. Okay, you can use because it's broken, you can easily mark either side and you're not going to damage your ribbon then. Okay? You do want to keep clear of it the best you can. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So once you've been all the way around and lifted it, okay, and I'd stop about there, then I'll start again there, and then the second time you go round, heat it up again. So you just want to heat it up again, but go to about 7 mil mark, and that should be enough to lift off your plate. So you shouldn't need that much heat this time.
You're doing 2 passings then. We had the first one around 3 to 5, and now you're going in 7 millimeters deep.
7 mil, yeah. I wouldn't go much deeper than that because of the ribbon cable. Like I said, I've marked up my scalpel to tell me, see, it's slowing down now where I'm actually getting into the depth of things. But you want to break the seal to start with your 3 to 4 mil.
Break the seal.
Yeah, just on the edge. Once you've got that edge lifted slightly, and you'll find to go 7 mil will be that much easier. See, it's slowing down, that's just where I'm cutting through. If you're worried about the camera, don't be too much, just go round it. Because it's got 2 little dowels, which means it's got 2 little pins to hold it down, okay? So you can just go round that on the 7 mil cut, okay? I mean, mine's pretty loose now, so it's no problem. But at least going 7 mil, keep it as tight as you can to the bottom face of this, of your digitizer, because there are things lower down than that, and if you start going to that depth, you're going to start cutting through your Wi-Fi signal and that sort of thing, so, or your 3G signal. So just be a little bit careful. Try and keep the scalpel as tight on this face here as you can, rather than lower down on the base. Okay.
Okay.
And that should sort things out. So I'm just bypassing the function button. Once you've done that, you should just be able to start lifting it up, because you've cut through the glue. It should lift up, and these are so much easier than the iPad 1 in the sense that it's just open now. There's none of this unplugging things. Once it's open, and that's you've got so much room to work. Okay. Now, a couple of things that you've got to do now is you've got to take the screen out. There's only 4 screws.
This is the LCD screen that we're taking out.
The LCD screen needs to come out. It's difficult to see. You've got to take the button off, the function button off, but I'll show you that as well because that's relatively easy. We're going to use double-sided tape to stick that back down in case because there's no stickiness there.
Right.
Okay. So now, also with the iPad 2, there's no Torx screws or anything like that. It's all Phillips screwdriver, and there's only 4, like I said. I dropped one of my screws yesterday, so I had to put a pentalobe in it. Sorry, a Torx 4 in it. That's why I'm going to use one. But to be honest, you've got 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I'm just going to have all 4 of them out.
So in terms of ease, this
is so much easier, so much faster than the iPad 1. There's no clips, there's nothing like that. Once you've got it heated up, it is a very easy thing to do.
Easy thing to do. Reminds me of an ex-girlfriend.
How vulgar.
I mean, yeah, because she had an iPad 2 as well.
Right.
Yes, that's what I meant.
And how did it? Did she break it or?
Yes, that's right, and it was easy to do to change it. Yes, that's what I meant. Not vulgar at all.
Okay. Okay, I took it the wrong way. Literally, all I'm doing is I'm lifting up the LCD. It's not particularly stuck down in any manner at all. Once it's open, like so, okay, you can just lay that there. Work on it. You've got basically normal plug socket, same as the iPad 1.
2 of them, like before?
Just one. I'm just going to remove it off of the motherboard, move it out of my way. Standard plug as usual. Okay, it's so simple. That's off. Now we've got 2 latches on our digitizer. Okay, same as usual. 1, 2. Once they're unclipped, it's free. It's off.
Yeah.
Now what we're going to do, just make sure I don't lose any of my screws, which I appear to have got one. No, it's on my screwdriver.
This is the 4 that you're talking about, the 4 screws,
the 4
right?
for the LCD, basically. So move them out of the way. Now we're going to take the function button off. Okay. 2 screws. Okay. Standard button pressing board. Just 2 screws. Okay. I'm going to get my spatula and I'm just going to lift up the plate that's stuck down onto the form, and so remove both sides.
It's stuck down with adhesive?
Yeah, but I'm going to use sticky tape, double-sided, to put it back on. Okay, so let's get the new one. Okay, let's remove the tape.
And where did you get this replacement touchscreen from there, Neil, the Apple Ninja?
SW Box, mate.
I see.
We can supply both LCD and digitizer, so it's no problem.
What's the culture like at SW Box, by the way? How are you finding things there?
It's brilliant. The guys, everyone that we work with are fantastic. They're all nice, easy to talk to, easy going, willing to help you with anything. Obviously, you've got live chat and everything. So any questions you've got about any products.
Yeah, they're a great bunch of guys.
Yeah,
and gals.
Girls even, and the language, their English language is very, very high. So You know, they'll answer any question that you've got, basically.
And just to remind people, if you're watching this and you have questions for Neil, just leave them on the YouTube comments.
Yes, yeah, I'll pick them straight up in the morning as usual, so there's no problem there. All I've done is lifted that sticker off there, okay? I'm just going to place it back down onto the new one.
What sticker? Oh, that's the home button?
Yeah, the home button. We're still working on that. Okay, once that's in place, I'm just going to check it on the other side, make sure I've got it in the centre. Yeah, okay. Then I'm going to stick the holding cover back down. I'm going to just use a little bit of double-sided tape on either side of the feet, just to ensure it stays down. Okay, that's on. Because obviously the new digitizer doesn't come with any glue or anything, so you want to make sure it's going to stay in place, basically. Because it's double-sided, obviously I've got to take off the top side now.
So maybe for some of the curious members of our audience, you know that heat gun that you had up to 120?
Yeah.
You think you could cook bacon with that?
To be honest, I've found it goes up to about 250, 300 degrees, so pretty much, yeah, you'd easy cook it.
And it would be delicious bacon at that.
It probably would. You could make it crispy or just nicely done, you know, however you like it. I like a little bit of crispiness to it.
As do I. And they do have bacon out there in the UK, don't they?
Yeah, it's one of our favourites.
Yeah, bacon's amazing.
It's just one of them things that's necessary in anyone's life, really, in my opinion.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to put the home button back together. Screw it down. That's that done.
What? You're done?
The home button's back into place. All working.
Huh.
Okay. I'm just going to insert the digitizer and then plug the
That didn't seem so hard,
LCD
Neil.
back into place now. Because it's new, it's not as fast as the iPad one that I've been playing with, purely because it is new. It hasn't been apart very often. Just going to plug that in.
So just wanted to ask you, how does it feel to be amongst the handful of people in this world? And I mean, given that there's, close to 7 billion people, a handful of people who are actually opening up iPad 2s to fiddle around inside.
I love it, is the answer. I do love it, to be honest.
You're a very select group, because I don't think that there are many videos out there that is showing this type of stuff.
No, there's not many. I've been looking on the internet, and the ones that I've seen have not been true, because there's no way you can open one without a heat gun. I can tell you that much for nothing. So I'm just going to turn that round, just so I know you guys can't see it right at a second. All I'm doing is plugging the LCD back on, and it needs to be in the right place to do that. I'm just going to put it over.
No problem, take your time. We can look at your logo on your t-shirt while you're doing that.
It's a standard plug, so you guys have seen it many times. So it's exactly the same plug as the iPad one.
I think there was an email from Kitty88 this morning asking if you're hooked up.
I am, unfortunately. I'm married.
I'll be sure to...
You can pass that information on if you like. It might disappoint her, but I think my wife would be most upset. if I lied, considering she watches all of these and says how well I've done or you should have done this. As you know, women like to nitpick.
Yes, yes.
And say, oh, you haven't shown enough. Right, all I'm going to do is put the 4 screws back in, okay? So bolt down the LCD, and then we're pretty much ready to go back together. Because the glue on you guys, the customers, because it's going to be still wet, it's reusable. Whereas ours has been open for like 24 hours, where they were testing 100 LCDs for a customer and whatnot. Obviously,
and I guess that's another thing that we have to mention. This is somewhat high precision electronics, and there's no easy way to test them except for...
No, we have to manually test everything that comes in, especially when you have an order for 100. You can't send out 100 items, like 100 LCDs, and then 10 of them don't work. That's just ridiculous. So unfortunately it's grueling, and people like me have to take these iPads apart to test them before we send them. So anything that you do order from us, I can guarantee you has been through quality control and made sure it works.
You're a good man, Neil. You're a good man for doing that, and I'm sure our customers really appreciate that.
Well, to me, there's no point offering a service that's wrong, if you like, or it's not true to what you're saying on your website. So literally all I'm going to do now, just want to move back, there's something in the seal line.
So ladies and gentlemen, very likely that your products have been checked by a genuine ninja.
Yeah. Okay. Obviously your glue is going to be a lot better than ours. So once you've done it, I've used double-sided tape because that's all we've got left. Okay. Then it comes into a tear. Put that down, turn it on. Hopefully it'll come on. Yeah, it's coming on, guys. As you can see, new digitizer fitted. Also, if you need a new LCD, it's exactly the same process. You have to take the LCD out to get to the digitalizer, and you can buy all the spares you need from swbox.com. Okay guys, so take a look, enjoy the movie. Thank you, bye.